You're sitting in your car. It's 6:47 p.m. on a random Tuesday. Traffic isn't moving. You stare out the window and feel like the weight of the entire world is on your shoulders. Today was one of those days. You know the kind of day that makes you question whether you can really handle all of this. Maybe it was a tough conversation at work. Maybe an unexpected bill showed up. Maybe it's just that constant feeling that you're always chasing something you can never quite reach. And in that moment, sitting there in the driver's seat, you feel small, fragile, as if it's the first time life has ever tested you like this. Your mind starts whispering those familiar lies. You're not strong enough for this. Other people can handle it, but you can't. This time is different. This time, you won't make it. And you believe it, because your mind has this extraordinary ability to erase your own story, to make you forget all the battles you've already won, all the times you looked at an obstacle and thought it was impossible, yet somehow you made it through. Your emotional memory is selective. It holds on to the pain of the present with cruel clarity, but lets the victories of the past dissolve like mist. It's as if your own mind is working against you, trying to make you forget who you really are. But you're not fragile. You never were. Remember that day 3 years ago when you thought you'd never make it through that job interview? You spent hours in front of the mirror, rehearsing answers, sweating, just thinking about the questions they might ask. Your mind created 1,000 rejection scenarios. You even considered canceling. But you didn't cancel. You went. And maybe you didn't get that specific job, but you got something far more important. You proved to yourself that you could face fear, that you could step into discomfort and survive. And what about that time your heart was broken? Remember? You stayed up way too late, staring at old photos, wondering if you'd ever feel whole again. You were convinced you'd never be able to trust anyone again, that you'd never be able to love. But you did. Maybe not in the same way, maybe with more caution. But you did. Your heart healed, even when you were sure it was permanently shattered. And that financial crisis? When you looked at your bank account and felt the ground disappear beneath your feet? When every bill that arrived felt like a sentence? You spent sleepless nights calculating and recalculating, searching for solutions that didn't seem to exist. But you found a way. Maybe it took longer than you wanted. Maybe it demanded sacrifices you didn't want to make. But you found it. You always do. Your mind forgets these victories because they don't scream. They whisper. Victories rarely make noise. They're quiet, discreet, almost invisible. They hide in the simple fact that you're here, now, breathing, trying again. You don't recognize your own strength because it doesn't look like the movies. There's no epic soundtrack, no slow motion, no glorious moment where everyone applauds. Your strength looks like you getting out of bed even when you don't want to. It looks like you trying again after failing. It looks like you being kind to someone even when your day was a disaster. It looks like you keeping on when giving up would be so much easier. Your strength isn't dramatic. It's persistent. It's not loud. It's consistent. It's not perfect. It's real. And maybe that's why you don't see it. Because we've been taught that strength has to be spectacular. That resilience must come with inspiring speeches and visible transformations. But real strength is more subtle than that. Real strength is in the fact that you keep trying even when you have no idea how. It's in your ability to adapt when plans fall apart. It's in the way you find tiny moments of hope, even on the darkest days. You've proven your strength so many times. You've lost count. Every morning you chose to try one more day. Every time you let yourself be vulnerable after being hurt. Every hard decision you made without knowing how it would turn out. Your strength doesn't need to be proven to anyone. It's already there, woven into your story, etched into every emotional scar that healed, in every tear that dried, in every fear you faced. That weight you're feeling right now, it will pass. Not because someone said so, not because you read it somewhere, but because you have evidence. Your own life is the evidence. You've felt this weight before. Maybe it looked different. Maybe the reasons were different. But you've been in that place where it felt like there was no way out. And there always was. Always. I'm not saying it was easy. I'm not minimizing what you're going through right now. I'm reminding you of who you are when you can't see it clearly. You are someone who survives, who adapts, who finds ways to keep going even when the map goes blank. You are someone who has already turned pain into wisdom, fear into courage, defeat into a fresh start. And you know what's even more impressive? You did it without a manual, without a step-by-step guide. You just kept breathing, kept trying, kept believing, even when you weren't sure what you were believing in. Every obstacle you faced taught you something about yourself that you didn't know before. Every time you had to reinvent yourself, you uncovered inner resources you didn't even know existed. Every tear you wiped away on your own showed you that you can be your own comfort. That problem that's keeping you up at night? Soon it'll just be another story of how you got through something hard. It'll be one more piece of proof that you're stronger than you think. Your mind might be lying to you about your fragility, but your story is screaming the truth about your strength. And sometimes when the mind can't be trusted, it's time to trust the story. So next time you feel that tightness in your chest, that feeling that this time it's different, that this time you won't make it, stop, breathe, and ask yourself one simple question. Have I been through worse days than this? Don't answer too quickly. Let the question echo. Let your memory do the work. Because when you truly allow yourself to remember, when you stop running from your own story, something shifts. You begin to see a pattern. Not the pattern of failure your mind keeps replaying. The pattern of survival. The pattern of resilience. The pattern of someone who always finds a way, even when they don't know what that way is. This question isn't about comparing pain. It's not about minimizing what you're going through now. It's about accessing a truth buried under layers of anxiety and fear. You are more resilient than you remember. Your own life is the greatest proof that you can handle hard things. Every day you're still here is evidence that you don't quit. Every time you got back up after falling is proof of your strength. The question doesn't change the situation, but it changes you inside the situation. And sometimes that's all you need, not a magic fix, but a reminder of who you really are when life tests you. If this video helped you reconnect with your strength, share it with someone else who needs the reminder. And subscribe, because we all forget from time to time just how resilient we really are.